Who has the loudest, proudest, and most die-hard fans in the entire NHL? From the Sea of Red in Calgary to the Whiteouts in Winnipeg, every fan base claims to be the best. But today, I'm going to be putting that to the test. I'll be ranking all 32 teams to find out which NHL team truly has the best fans in the league. We're talking passion, loyalty, game day atmosphere in the regular season and during playoffs. How far do the fans go to support their team, even when the times are tough? I'm looking at you, Buffalo. So buckle up, grab your jersey, and sound off in the comments, because some of these rankings might ruffle a few feathers. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode right here on Above Average. I'm YouTube Trev, and thank you for clicking on this video. This is going to be fun. I want to do more videos like this, so if you're new to the channel, thank you for clicking on this video. Leave a like, subscribe if you like the content, and we got a lot of teams to get to. I've been a hockey fan my entire life, so I feel like I've got a really good grasp of, what fans are awesome, what fans are not awesome, or what team has the worst fans, I guess I could say. And this will be really fun. So drop a comment down below if you disagree with me. Tell me why. It actually is the sponsored segment of today's video, www.timetrackers.ca, where I highlight the most liked comment in my previous video. So if your comment gets the most likes, I'll be giving a shout out. Drop a comment down below. And yeah, let's get right into this bad boy. So I'll be ranking GOAT fans. I've got 5 tiers. Okay, I've got GOAT fans, the greatest of all time. The best fans essentially is what that is. Amazing fans, like really good fans. They're amazing. They're awesome, okay? Then you've got good fans. Yeah, they're good. Nothing too crazy, nothing special, but at the end of the day, I consider them good fans. And then you got mid. Meh, like, it's pretty underwhelming, pretty average, below average, I would say, maybe. And then at the very bottom, you've got the worst fans. I guess I could have called this column Vancouver Canucks fans. Oh, shit. Oh, God. He said it. Who said that? Okay. Yeah, I'm just joking. Canucks fans, you guys aren't the worst, but maybe you are the worst. I don't know. We'll see. So, let's get right into this video. And I will say, like everything I said at the beginning of this video, it's regular season, it's playoffs, it's atmosphere, it's what I'm seeing on social media, it's the crowd. How loud are they? Attendance. I'm not going to go too into the numbers, but I've got a good, sense of what teams are selling out and what teams aren't, and everything. Just the diehard fans. And I will say, the one thing that I will knock it down is fans' toxicity. If you got a little bit of toxic fans in your fan base, that'll bring it down quite a bit. And I know which fan bases are toxic as hell. And so even if you have amazing fans, based off of how toxic and how annoying some fans, the trolls, trust me, I know which teams there are, or that they are. So that brings it down quite a bit. So with all of that out of the way, we're going alphabetically. Let's start with the Anaheim Ducks. Okay, Anaheim Ducks. This is interesting. I can confidently say that they are a very underwhelming fan base, if you will. I remember even when they were just like unreal, the Getzlaf, the Corey Perry years, with Kessler there as well. Their playoff crowd was quiet. It was quiet. And as far as West Coast teams go, they are by far down there. I remember even when they were like a really good team, they struggled filling that building. You can blame it on the climate. You can blame it on whatever. Ducks fans as a whole, regular season, they're pretty mid, and playoffs, it is very underwhelming. And especially when the years that they were so good, it was an underwhelming crowd. So based off that, yep, there you go. Yeah, I'm a mid fans. I'm slotting them in as mid, because I just remember so many times they were good and their crowd wasn't really that good. So for all those reasons, mid fans. I don't think they're that toxic either. Okay, next up, you've got an original team. I guess I should have said how well the team travels, and I'm going to base that off of, I'm in Edmonton. I know which teams travel really well and which teams don't. And the Boston Bruins, they travel exceptionally well. They've got a huge following. It's an original 6 team. Yeah, I mean, they're right up there with the cream of the crop. They're unreal fans. As far as, the crowd goes, they get into it. And this year they had a pretty down year, and they let the fans know, which I wouldn't say that makes them bad fans. I think that makes them passionate fans. And so I guess I should also say there's got to be just one. I think I'm just going to go off one GOAT fans. They're one GOAT. There's only one greatest of all time fans. That doesn't really make any sense. They're, just the best. That's the top of the list. Are the Boston Bruins the greatest fans in the NHL? Maybe that's how I'll say it going forward. No, they are not, but I tell you what, they are amazing fans. They are. As far as toxicity goes, like how annoying can they be? Yeah, I will say this, I'll preface this, every team has those, but there are some teams that have way more than others. You know who you are. So you know what? Boston Bruins, it's easy. They're amazing. They are amazing. They travel exceptionally well. They're loud. Everything. They are really, really good. So amazing fans, Boston Bruins. Okay, next up, Buffalo Sabres. I got to be a little bit quicker with the teams here, but Buffalo Sabres, you know what? Comparing them in the playoffs, well, let's look back at how loud their fans are in the playoffs. I'm just joking. I don't even remember because I was like 6. It's been so long. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. But as far as, it's, 14, 15, 16 years they haven't been in the playoffs now. They still have a decent fan base, I'd say. And you got to think of it like it's tough to cheer for a team that just continues to just disappoint you year in and year out. So you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. I have never met a toxic Buffalo Sabres fan, I guess I should say, and I think there's a reason for that. They can't really, they don't have much ammo to poke fun at when they are, you could argue, the laughing stock of the NHL the last 15 years. It was the Oilers, but Buffalo, thank you for not making it the Oilers, I guess. So you know what? I'm going to put Buffalo as good fans, but I really do think the loyalty with Buffalo, you could consider them as amazing fans, and time will tell. When they do get into the playoffs, that this would change. I think I could slot them into amazing fans, but do they travel? Well, not really. As far as fan base goes, I think they're not considered to be one of the biggest fan bases. So for all those reasons, I do think they're passionate, but I can't slot them into amazing. So I'm going to put good. Okay, Calgary Flames. I know in the thumbnail I put them in the worst. So yeah, I know a lot of people are, oh, Trevor, you're an Edmonton guy. You're going to be extremely biased in this. No, not at all. You know what? I tell you this. Every single Battle of Alberta that I've ever been to, I've always wished it was at the Dome. I think the crowd's always better. I think they're a pretty good regular season fan base. Like they get passionate, especially when the team was loud. Like the year that everyone thought they were going to win the cup. In 21, was it 2020, 2021, or whatever year it was, 2019, 20, when Gaudreau had the career year, and Tkachuk had the career year, Giordano won the Norris, like Jacob Markstrom, 9 shutouts or something like that. I went to a few Flames games, that's when I was still living in Lethbridge, and yeah, I mean, it's a good crowd. Like when they are a great team, they have amazing fans, and I think they show up not just in the regular season, in the playoffs as well. So, you know what, some people might be surprised. They're amazing fans. Yeah, I'll give it to them. I will. There are some toxic fans in the Calgary Flames organization, or just that cheer for the Flames. But I don't think it's enough to knock them down. I certainly think that there's other teams that have way more toxic fans than the Calgary Flames. So for all those reasons, yeah, you know what? Calgary Flames, I'll give it to you. You guys do have some amazing fans. Carolina Hurricanes. This is a very interesting one because I think the Carolina Hurricanes, they show up not just in the regular season, but in the playoffs. But, I remember watching quite a few Hurricanes games this year, and from it stuck out, man. Like their fans are loud in the regular season, way louder compared to Oilers fans compared to some teams that I watch. Like I always noticed that, and this year in particular, I don't know if it was something special. If a Hurricanes fan happens to be watching, did you notice that? Because I noticed the Hurricanes, like that arena was always bumping whenever I watched this year. It was very, very loud. So I think they're unreal. Obviously, go back to every single playoff run. They can be very, very loud. I think their Carolina Hurricanes have amazing fans as well. So slotting them in there. Man, there's a lot of amazing fans in the NHL, but we're still looking for the GOAT, and I have yet to put anyone in the worst. I actually don't have anyone. Who do I have in good? I don't know. I'll have to look back. I'm kind of doing this. I'm going to edit this post, so I'm kind of forgetting who I'm putting where. I'm not going to lie. But Carolina Hurricanes, yeah, I'd give you amazing fans. I would. Okay, Chicago Blackhawks. Oh, I mean, this team travels exceptionally well, obviously. Original six, it's loud. I don't think that it's not even close as far as national anthems go. Chicago Blackhawks, if we were just ranking off that, they take the cake there. They are unreal. And even when, when it was Johnny Taves, when it was Patty Kane, that arena was bumping. It's one of the biggest as far as capacity goes. They're always selling that out. They got Bedard in there now. When they are a playoff team, again, they are absolutely, without a doubt, they have an amazing fan base, not just in the regular season, not just in playoffs, like just all around. So, yeah, I can't not put them in amazing fans. They do have amazing fans for sure. Colorado Avalanche, shout out to Colorado. I've got nothing but good things to say about Avalanche fans. I think that crowd is probably right up top as far as most consistent, just loud fans in regular season and playoffs go. Like that building is always rocking, and it helps when you've got McKinnon. It helps when you've got Makar. They've got a lot to cheer for, but it is so fun to watch a game in the Pepsi Center. Is it Pepsi Center? It really is. I love when the Oilers play in Colorado. I always know it's going to be just bumping in there, and it is every single time. So, yeah, this is easy. The Colorado Avalanche, you guys have amazing fans. I wouldn't say you have the biggest fan base, that's for sure. And I know I've done some videos saying, Draisaitl is maybe better than McKinnon, or even McDavid. I think it was McDavid's better than McKinnon. A lot of people are like, what are you talking about? They're passionate. That just tells me they're very, very passionate. So they're amazing fans. They do. They have amazing fans. Columbus Blue Jackets. Okay, so now we're going to take a dip down here to Columbus because aside from that cannon really gets them going. This year, for a few years now, they haven't really been that competitive, and I think their fan base has kind of shown that. As far as attendance goes, I'm pretty sure it's down a little bit. It's always a little bit of a quieter crowd, but when they are good, like most teams, the fan base does show up. But I just compare it to teams that, for the Oilers, for instance, when the Oilers were bad for quite a few years there, they were always still selling out for the most part. Maybe not always, but they always had, fans in the seat. Columbus, not so much maybe. So I'm going to put them as good fans. I think when the going's good, they're good. And when the going's tough, they don't really show up. So good fans. Let's just go with good. But I'm not saying that they can't show up. I want to say that. Okay, then you got the Dallas Stars. I thoroughly love watching that. The Dallas Stars. I'm telling you, what a sneaky, underrated fan base. Maybe not underrated, but underappreciated maybe, because this team, the fans, I tell you, they are standing up the whole game. They are. So there's some playoff games where they're standing up the whole period, and I'm just like, man, why can't the Oilers do that? Why not, man? That's so annoying. And then they got the Dallas Stars chant. It is what do they say? A raucous crowd. Oh, I love watching the Dallas Stars. That's actually my second favorite team. I think the fans are very passionate. I haven't met any very toxic Dallas Stars fans. It's a pretty cool, man, I love watching a Dallas Stars game, especially in the playoffs. They're just standing the whole time. You can't even see it from their camera angle. You can't even see it sometimes. So Dallas Stars, yeah, you have amazing fans, no question. The Detroit Red Wings, also a pretty solid fan base I'd go for. You've got the tradition, throw that frickin' octopus out there. That's really cool. As far as original six teams go, though, I'm just trying to think, because I remember they had the longest playoff stretch, and growing up, it was at over 20 years, which is crazy. But then just recently, I don't know, maybe because it's been a while since I've seen how their crowd is in the playoffs. I think they've got a really good playoff crowd, right? They have to. They're original six, but I just have no memories of just being like, oh, wow, look at that crowd. But then again, it's been a few years since I've seen Detroit. They travel well, original six team. I don't know an a-hole Detroit Red Wings fan. Man, you know what? I feel like we're stocking up that amazing fans list. I'm going to put them as good. And I might get a few hate comments in there, but I just have nothing to really say. I'm just trying to think. Well, there was Colorado and Detroit. That was a rivalry. But all I remember is just seeing Colorado's crowd, not Detroit's. You know what? Screw it. They've got good fans. Okay. Speaking of good fans, next up, the Edmonton Oilers. Okay, so I tell you what, guys, I'm an Oilers fan. This is the team I cheer for my entire life. In regular seasons, this crowd is boring. I tell you, and that's what annoys me the most about Oilers fans. Whenever I've watched a game, I'm like, how are they? Like, I watch Dallas Stars fans. I watch, the Nashville Predators. We'll get to them pretty soon here. Even if it's a regular season game, I think you can hear a pin drop in the Rogers Place. And I know they make up for it in the playoffs, and they're considered to be some of the loudest fans. And so you've got regular seasons here and then playoffs right here. So maybe it meets in the middle. They got good fans. I know that might be a hot take, but I tell you, not to mention this team, I am very, in with how toxic this fan base can be and how annoying they can be. Oilers Twitter is ridiculous. Some of the comments I get on some videos where, people like Oilers fans disagree with me quite a bit. I did pre and post for a year of, it was the first year that they went to the Cup final here. Just 2 years ago, I guess. And, man, what some Oilers fans were saying was just nonsense, just dumb. But I tell you, Oilers fans in the playoffs, it's pretty special, man. And being a part of it this year, I went to the Cup final there, Game 5 with my dad and bro. The national anthem was unreal. This is tough, man. I'm really on the edge of amazing fans or good fans. Do the Oilers playoffs, does that bump them into amazing fans? I'm really struggling here. You know what? I think I will put them in amazing fans, and what did it was the decade of darkness. I remember the fans were always showing up. They were. And so I think that's a big notch. But I'm telling you, Oilers fans, it's one of the most toxic fan bases in the entire NHL. It really is. So be better and be a little bit louder in the regular season, why don't you? Okay, so that's that. Florida Panthers. Okay, being an Oilers fan, what are you going to say on the Florida Panthers? I will say this: they were a terrible team for so long, and that building, I remember sometimes it was 4,000, 6,000 people. That is terrible. And even when they started getting good, their fans didn't really show up. It's not until they've been good now, but. All I have to say is look at their Stanley Cup parade the last 2 years. Barely anyone gives two craps about this team. So, the passionate fans are probably as passionate as any hockey fan out there. I've seen some videos how I'm a diehard. I like the people crying about them winning the Cups. But I'm telling you, there's like 20, a handful of those fans compared to other teams. So, unfortunately, you know what? I'm going to put them into mid. And is that bias? Let me know. Drop a comment down below. Right on, guys. Sorry, I just realized how we're already 20 minutes in almost. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit. So I hope that's okay with you guys. But next up is the Los Angeles Kings. Personally, I love their fan base. Whenever, Crypto.com Arena now. I think, I try and watch a fair share of a handful of Kings games through the regular season, and I'm always enjoying just how the atmosphere is. I think they stand out for sure, even in the playoffs, when it's good. The first two games this year when the Oilers did take on the Kings, it was just bumping. When that building is really, really going, it's probably one of the most energetic buildings in the entire NHL, in my opinion. So I love their fan base. I think they've been pretty loyal, and I think they have reason to be loyal because their team has been competitive through my entire life, I could say. Great fans. I think they're awesome. Surprisingly, even though if there's going to be any team that should be super salty, I have no trolls. There's a little few. There's not many people that are Kings fans that I know, because usually they have a Kings profile picture and they rip on my videos. It doesn't really happen much. So I'm surprised by that. I think they do have amazing fans. LA Kings, that's where you're going. Keep it up. Minnesota Wild, the state of hockey. Okay, so I've got an interesting take on this. As far as regular season goes, I think their crowd is unreal. I really, really do. I think it's always fun to watch. And I watched every single game of the Golden Knights and Minnesota Wild series in this playoff run this previous year. I was pretty disappointed. Does anyone else think that? Drop a comment down below. I was very surprised by that. I thought during the regular season they were just as loud as how they were in the in the playoffs this year. So I'm kind of surprised by that, but I just remember from watching the national anthem the night before of Oilers. It was in Rogers, and I was like, holy crap, like, this is insane. Let's go, baby. And then I watched, it was the matinee, I think it was game 3. It was the first one in Minnesota, or whenever they had their first game in Minnesota. I was like, okay, I'm expecting big, and maybe my expectations were just way too high, but I was kind of let down. I really was. So I'm not trying to knock at your fans. I've yet to ever meet an a-hole Minnesota Wild fan, even though that team has just absolutely bent over the Oilers in my entire life. I'm very tempted. I want to put them in amazing fans so much, but I can't right now just because of the playoff run. I don't know. Maybe next year this could all change, but I'm going to put them as good fans, and I'm surprised by that. Okay, Montreal Canadiens. That GOAT, the greatest fans in the entire NHL. That tier, it's only going to 1. Should I have changed it? Should I have had? Because I feel like that. No, you know what? I'm sticking to it. And I tell you, there is nothing like Hockey Night in Canada when it's the Oilers playing the Canadiens, where it's the Toronto Maple Leafs playing the Canadiens at the Bell Center. I'm pretty sure I might be getting these wrong. Let me know if I'm getting them wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've been 3 for 3 for arenas that I've said. This is it. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna throw it in there. You have the greatest fans in the entire NHL. Let me tell you why. Playoffs is one thing. I feel like it's a given. Every NHL team's fan base should just be unreal in the playoffs. And they usually are. But it could be a Tuesday night. It could be a freaking Monday night in November. This freaking crowd is always, and I mean always, just through the roof excited. Whether it's, just Cole Caulfield just skating up the ice. Oh, like you can just hear the anticipation build up. And it is so fun to watch. When I moved here in Edmonton just 2 years ago, remember I moved in with my best bud, and we were watching. I actually converted him to being an Oilers fan. Both my roommates, actually, which shout out to them. It's pretty cool. Have you ever done that before? It's a pretty good feeling. But I remember it was the first game he ever watched the Oilers take on the Montreal Canadiens in Montreal. It was Hockey Night in Canada. It was the late game of the night. Or maybe it wasn't because it's so far out there. Yeah, it was probably like 5 o'clock my time. But I remember him saying, like, holy crap, I can't get over this crowd. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's pretty special. So hockey isn't just a sport in Montreal. It is a way of life. I've heard some stories. Joaquin Gage, who I work with, Matt Cassian, who I work with, Sean Bell, former Oiler, he did lace him up. And he said, I have never in my entire life seen or witnessed anything like when I, made it to the ice for the Montreal Canadiens, skated out there, just hearing the crowd. It is truly something special. What is it? The Mecca of hockey? It is. So Montreal Canadiens, I'm giving it to you. I have to. Loyal, passionate, everything. There probably are a few a-holes. Every team has them, but no team as well travels as well as Canadiens fans. It's not even close. It's Montreal, and then it's Toronto. Actually might be a little bit close, but Montreal, yeah, that tier is for you and for you only, baby. Sorry, I just had to frickin' cream all over the Montreal Canadiens fans, but it's true. Up next, Nashville Predators. Speed it up a little bit here. I'm putting them in amazing fans already. They've got when they were in the playoffs a few years ago, let's just use Jonathan Quick, for example. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. They have all the cool chants that you want. Every fan base is just like, oh, why didn't we think of that? They got great fans through the regular season and the playoffs especially. They show up. They've got amazing fans, not even close. New Jersey Devils fans, okay. Luke Gazdic, we had him on our show not too long ago, and he said, you know what, my first game, I'll never forget it. It was pretty cool, but then the crowd kind of, it dissipates. Is that the word? It kind of clears up during the regular season. And then they're kind of back in the playoffs. Like I said, every team should have unreal crowds in the playoffs. New Jersey Devils fans, though, this year, 2 years ago, they were unreal. A year ago, they weren't. This year, they were a little bit better, obviously, a little bit injured. I expect their fans to be a little bit better, personally, so maybe I'm just going to slot them as good. they've got good fans. And not the biggest fan base either, so maybe that's why I slot them there. Next up, the New York Islanders. Okay, I think they've got amazing fans. They're passionate. There's a lot of them. They've got a great history. It could be, I remember, the Oilers always play them in matinees, especially when they are out in Long Island. Is that what it is? Long Island, I think. And they've got great fans. Great fans. They really, really do. They know how to be loud, especially, when Tavares left, just boo, like they've got diehard fans. They really, really do. So their fans are as diehard as any out there. Amazing fans, not even close. Then you got the New York Rangers. For an original six, I will say I don't think they have the most passionate, loud fans. Is that a hot take? I don't really think so. Obviously they've got, as far as net worth goes, they are the highest grossing NHL team. And I don't even think it's close in that department. So they are the richest franchise is what I'm trying to get at. They do have a lot of fans, but that doesn't mean that they have the most passionate fans. And this season was just, how underwhelming was that? That was just so disappointing. Winning the President's, when was the last time that happened? A team won the President's Trophy and then didn't even make the playoffs the next year. Yeah, they can be loud. For some reason, I kind of want to put them, they have good fans. As far as original six teams go, I think they have the least raucous crowd. So I'm going to put them at good. And shout out to my buddy Riley if he's watching. He might not like that take. Okay, next up we've got Ottawa Senators fans. This year they were unreal. Brady Tkachuk, he loved it. I remember he was doing a post-game interview on the ice and they asked him and he's like, let's go. He's pumping up the crowd, which is good to see. I love it. I've never met an a-hole Ottawa Senators fan. I want to put them at amazing, but the year that they went to the Eastern Conference Final, I remember it was making headlines. They weren't even selling out those games. They weren't. I remember Tim and Sid, when they were still on, Sid Sixero ripped into them, and it's embarrassing. I know where they're located. I think it's Canadian Tire Center. Am I getting these right? Canadian Tire Center. It's like in the middle of butt nowhere. So it's quite a bit of a trek. You know what? No excuses. If you have a passionate fan base, if you're in the Eastern Conference Final, you should be selling that out. No question. So, unfortunately, that knocks it down to good. I'm going to put them as good. Next up, the Philadelphia Flyers. Okay, talk about this guy. I feel like Flyers fans are a lot similar to the New York Islanders fans, where they get extremely rowdy and they're just they're into it. They're extremely passionate. But they are very toxic, extremely toxic. They're probably right up there with some of the most toxic fans in the league. I'm going to put them at mid. I think their fans are mid, man. I really do. Next up, the Pittsburgh Penguins. I will say, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to put them as mid as well. You have Sidney Crosby, Geno Malkin. They've been blessed with some of the greatest talents in the 21st century. And I don't know, man. I think their crowd, like watching a regular season game, maybe they have Oilers syndrome as well, but you can hear a pin drop in that stadium sometimes. So I'm going to put them as mid. I really, really do. Is that a hot take? It might be, man. I might get ripped to shreds for that one. San Jose Sharks. On the West Coast, you've got LA Kings, you've got the San Jose Sharks, and then you've got the Anaheim Ducks. And it's in that order as far as fan bases go. I think when this team is unreal, when they're good, they've got a great crowd. They really, really do. Where I kind of grew up, Devin Setoguchi, shout out to Seto, Tabor, Alberta is where I'm from. He played for the Sharks, and I remember just watching every single playoff game. That's kind of what everyone did if you were in Tabor, and if the Sharks were in the playoffs, which they were for quite a bit of time there. They have great fans. They really, really do. Regular season this year, they had a hard time selling that building, though. They really, really did. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the Buffalo Sabres fans, they've been doing it for like 16 years, and they still have more fans than I feel like the San Jose Sharks did this year. So you know what? Man, am I kind of talking myself out of it? Yeah, you know what? Screw that. If they have really, really good fans, they should be. They got Macklin Celebrini. They got Will Smith. They should be they should be selling out that building a lot more than they are. So you know what? Yeah, there you got mid fans. Seattle Kraken. A lot of people have talked about their fans, obviously being a newer team. Had some buddies go there and say it was just an unreal experience. The Climate Pledge Arena is just awesome. It's next level good. The fans, obviously, they don't have the most fans, but that doesn't mean that they don't have the most, the least passionate fans. They're going to continue to grow as a fan base, but it's too early to put them at amazing fans, so I'm putting them at good. St. Louis Blues fans, okay? Growing up, obviously, there was the battle of Chicago and St. Louis. They were always meeting in the playoffs. I think they've got really solid fans. So I'm just going to slot them in as good. When the goings are good, kind of like a few of these teams I've said, it is good. And they show up. This team's always been fairly competitive since I've been watching hockey. I guess since, my entire life watching hockey. I can't put them into amazing, though, because I tune into some games in the regular season and kind of the same thing. It's nothing too crazy. They really don't show up until playoffs. For all those reasons, they've got good fans. Not the worst, not the best. Kind of in the middle there. Tampa Bay Lightning. You know what? Far superior fans than their counterpart down south, maybe a little bit more south than Florida Panthers. Tampa Bay, yeah, they got awesome freaking. I'm slotting them into amazing. Obviously, they've had a lot to cheer for, but their Stanley Cup parade compared to Florida Panthers, it's not even close. Just watching them in 2004 when they won as well, how crazy that crowd was. So they've got amazing fans. Toronto Maple Leafs fans, oh gosh, how much time do I have? Man, I'm going to put them as mid. They've got mid fans. And you know what's sad? Kind of like there is an quieter building in the NHL in the regular season than, what is it? TD Gardens? No, that's Boston. Man, I know this. I know Toronto's arena. I'm just drawing a blank here. But, yeah, like it's all corporate. Everyone says it. They're preaching to the choir. I know it's a broken record over here, but man, it's all corporate. It's all suits, and people just go there because it's the thing to do, and if you have money. So it's really too bad. And I watched a clip this year of the Toronto Maple Leafs, early 2000s. It was like a regular season game, and someone scored a goal. Maybe it was Darcy Tucker, something like that. And seeing the crowd, I was like, this is how it used to be. This is how Toronto Maple Leafs fans used to be. Holy crap, sign me up for that. So throw in that. Also throw in the fact that they have some of the dumbest, most toxic fans in the NHL. They think it's all about them. That's why I like Montreal Canadiens fans way more. It's because when you are the best fans in the league, you don't have to say it. You don't. You just know it. You know deep down. That's why I love hockey players. McDavid's, Crosby. They know they're the best. But they don't tell you it. They're not LeBron James. Yeah, I'm the best. I'm the best. Yeah. So then but Maple Leafs fans, put a hand up if you've ever heard a Maple Leafs fan tell you that they have the best. Yeah. So for all those reasons, you know what? The worst. I'm putting them. The Maple Leafs have the worst fans. Oh God, about damn time. We're gonna fill this slot up. Don't you worry. Utah Mammoth. Honestly, I've got nothing but good things to say. Really, they seem to. I'm watching their first game this season against the Chicago Blackhawks. It was awesome. They just got the new logo too. Probably my favorite logo in the NHL right now, and it's not even close. So I'm going to slot them in as good, but they've got strong potential of having amazing fans in just 2 years, and I think they're going to make the playoffs this year. So that's going to boost it up quite a bit, I think. Oh, the Vancouver Canucks. Without a doubt, this is the worst fan base in the entire NHL. Talk about riots. Talk about just how toxic they are. Oh, man. Like I said at the beginning of this video, earlier in this video, I was doing pre and post last year, and when it was the Oilers versus Canucks in the playoffs there, dude, when the Oilers would lose a game, Canucks fans made sure you heard about it, and it was crazy. Just the spam comments we got on our YouTube chat, the texts we get in from people that just started, bandwagon fans, man. Talk about bandwagon fans. And you know what's sad? I do have a good buddy. Shout out Duncan, diehard Canucks fans. He's one of the good ones, man, and it's too bad, though, because there is, for every one good Canucks fan, there is probably 100. I'm not even joking. 100 just D-bag Vancouver Canucks fans. So, yeah, I might get ripped in the comments for this, and I don't care. Be better. You riot when you lose. You only really show up when you're good. It's not even close. There was a video last year of a 8-year-old saying F the Oilers, F McDavid, and you got a grown group of just all these men just, this is the coolest thing ever. Dude, the most classless fans in the NHL, it's not even close. It goes to the Vancouver Canucks. They should have their own separate category. It's embarrassing. It really is. So I could go on, but I personally believe, and it's funny, you know what sucks is 2 years ago, I did a video on the Canucks about me never really hating them. I was like, yeah, man, like I have nothing. Why would I hate them? The Oilers never really had the rival. It was always Calgary had the rivalry with Vancouver. And then that was kind of the thing that the Oilers and Canucks fans agreed upon, was because they hated Calgary more. And you know what? I hate Canucks fans 1,000% more than I do Calgary Flames fans. It's not even close. So like I said, I could go on and on. Worst fans in the league right there, Vancouver Canucks. But that Duncan, I'm not shitting on you. I'm shitting on everyone else beside you. But you're awesome. Okay, and then you got Vegas Golden Knights. You know what? I'm putting them as the worst fans as well. And let me tell you why. Well, for starters, you know how many... I will say, Vancouver Canucks fans may have the worst fans in the NHL, but Vegas Golden Knights fans, they have the dumbest. And here's why. This year's playoffs, prime example, McDavid would be coming down, even if it wasn't McDavid, just anyone, Corey Perry. Let's just say Pietrangelo is coming to hit him, and he falls. I would see a horde, a whole row, a whole section of fans stand up and do this. Like they have no idea what they're doing. I'm sorry. Vegas fans, are they passionate? Yes, but they are extremely toxic. They have no idea what's going on half of the time. If someone falls on the ice, you're going to see like 30 people stand up and be like, what the hell was that? And there is nothing that pisses me off more than fans that do that every single play. Every single play. I kid you not. And I remember one game, I think it was game 3, or no, it was game 2. It was game 2 in particular. There was one guy, I'm not even, he stood out like a sore thumb. He would just jump up and he would be like, what the hell? Every single play, one of the Vegas Golden Knights players would fall. That grinds my gears, and that's why you have some of the worst fans in the league, not even close. Right on, guys. Just want to say, if you made it this far, thank you for watching this video. I hope you're thoroughly enjoying it. And yeah, that's about that. But we got 2 left. Let's start off with the Washington Capitals. Not going to spend too much time here because I didn't realize how long I was taking for each single team. So sorry about that. I was trying to be quick. The Washington Capitals, look, they're awesome. They have amazing fans. This year, the OV watch was just incredible, and I've always had a soft spot for the Capitals because I think Ovi was one of my favorite players growing up. So I do think they have amazing fans, truly. It's whether it's regular season, whether it's playoffs, when they won the cup finally, that was just so cool to see. They show up in the playoffs for sure. But again, I can say this, I've said this quite a bit. I've never met an a-hole Capitals fan, and I actually don't really know many Capitals fans, but yeah, they travel pretty decently. They're loud in their home barn there, so I'm going with amazing. And then last up, the Winnipeg Jets. Shout out to the Winnipeg Jets. Shout out to my family out in Winnipeg. I was able to go to participate in the whiteout when the Vegas Golden Knights took the Winnipeg Jets out back in 2018 there. And yeah, I mean, they're regarded as one of the loudest buildings in the playoffs. It's not even close. I got to see that firsthand, which was really, really cool, going with Pa and Dad. And look, there's only one greatest fan base, but so I'm going to put them in as amazing. My only gripe with the Winnipeg Jets is this year, you know, they were the President's Trophy winners, and I know they had a hard time selling that barn out, which is the smallest barn in the NHL. That takes it down a little bit. As far as fans go, I think they're some of the most passionate, loyal fans in the entire NHL. It's not even close. I remember Don Cherry when they came back when they came back there, I remember Don Cherry was doing a hit with Ron McLean, and he was like, I've never heard a building this loud in my entire life, and that's kind of been said quite a bit. Every player that's kind of played in that building, it's just awesome. It's a great atmosphere. Like I said, my only gripe is they had a hard time selling out this year, and they're the best team in the NHL. So do with that what you will. Anyways, guys, that concludes my list of the greatest fans in the NHL. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me hear it in the comment section down below as I interact with every single one. And without further ado, let's hop into the sponsored segment of the video where I highlight the most liked comment in my previous video. It is that time of the video, brought to you by www.timetrackers.ca, where they work around the clock for you, whether you want a big clock, medium-sized clock, I always say it, or a small clock, they've got you covered. It's an Alberta-based company. They got clocks all over Canada. Next time you're in a hospital, arena, go, oh, look, oh, that's www.timetrackers. That's YouTube Trev. They sponsor YouTube Trev. So go check them out. That'd be dope if you did. But the most liked comment in my previous video was in regards to the Oilers getting Isaac Howard, which I think is pretty sweet. Okay, a little bit better. That's what I like to see. Huge shout out to Anything Sports 9881. When Isaac Howard scores, they should play ice, ice, baby. Yeah, you know what? I completely agree with you there. I'm super pumped for that. 20 likes, not bad. I know the one before I got like 4 likes was my most liked comments. 20, yeah. Let's see if we can boost it up. Boost it up, baby. Let's see. What do you guys think? Make something funny. I interact with every single one, like I said. Thanks for all the continued support, guys. If you made it this far, you're like, Trev, well, why are you busting out this shirt and the hat? What's going on here? Well, I'm on my way to a party. Yeah, I'm going to a party and I cannot wait. You're like, oh, what the heck? It's one. Yeah, we're going day drinking. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, that's why. So thanks again, guys. Thanks for all the continued support. I will see you in the next one. Don't be average when you can be above average. And if you like these kind of videos, let me know. I want to do more of these kind of things. Take her easy, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Let's go, baby. Don't be average when you can be above average. Peace.